Hey guys, back again for another Patreon request. I told you guys I was dishing out 2 today. Once again, I want to thank all my patrons. Thank you for continuing to be a patron. Thank you for contributing, because once again, everything I do with the Patreon is going back to you guys in some shape or form. Like I told you guys before. But in the meantime, the first video I did was for Jalen Collins. So thank you, Jalen. Hope you enjoyed that. Today, this time around, we're doing something for another one of my Patreon, Kira Shahan. Kira asks me, who are 8 of my favorite MCU actresses? Okay, so basically actresses who have appeared in MCU movies. Who are 8 of my favorite? Okay, you want me to do 8? So yeah, I sat down for this and I thought about it for a while, and I just had to remember every actress that was in it that had like speaking roles and everything like that, whether they were playing a major character or not, or a supporting character. And this is what I came up with. So you asked me 8, I'm gonna give you 8. So let's kick this off. So in number 1, we go to Miss Elizabeth Olsen, who played the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. I would have never thought an Olsen would be so good at playing Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. You talk about really diving deep into that character and nailing it to such a redefining of that character. You're talking to somebody who has been reading that character for nearly 30 years. And sometimes when they do a live action adaptation, sometimes you're always going to try to maybe compare it. Wanda has always been a tragic character. Let's put it like that. She always has. She's always been a tragic character. She's always on that thin line. She could step to the left real quick to that point and she could be a villain, and she could step right to the right and she could be a hero. And they, throughout her time in the movies, they have showcased that she struggles with it. I love that they gave her, she used Wanda and had Wanda with an accent. That's great. But at the same time, I don't think her time with that character was up. And personally, I would love to see the character come back, even though from what I understood, they actually have said that she's dead, but they can bring her back. And they should, because what looked like after WandaVision looked like she was on this road to redemption as a hero. Once I saw, for anybody who doesn't know, once you saw her reading the Darkhold, I was like, yeah, she's a villain now. Yeah, that's messing up. And again, if you don't know what that book is, that book has turned even the strongest people into tyrants, and it did the same thing. Don't give me that excuse of, oh, she's flipping out because she what? No, she read that book, and that book fucked her head up big time, and you saw the results of it. So yeah, but Miss Olsen was great. I loved her as that. Number 2, the lovely Haley Atwell. Oh my God! There's probably a picture you could see, and that is a beautiful woman. I'm not even. You cannot deny she is not. Now, the thing about her as Peggy Carter is you gotta really be into the Captain America universe to understand who she was. But at the same time, what started out as just a good supporting character, she evolved. Her character evolves into more of a leading woman, and the Peggy Carter TV series, I enjoyed. I thought it was great to see that. And to see that no matter what, even when her character died, she still was popping up in other films, and it was just like they really liked this woman. And then of course, eventually, her What If counterpart as Captain Carter shows up in the MCU, and you cannot tell me that she did not look good in that costume. She is a true treasure as an actress in the MCU movies, and it's just a shame to see that as good as she was, her niece Sharon, especially the MCU, turns to the dark side, which I fucking hate. I hated that. I hate that, because that would never happen. Ever. But Miss Atwell was great. So whenever I see Miss Atwell in something, yeah, I do tend to check it out. And she is the voice of Laura Croft, so it's cool. Number 3 on the list, Iman Vellani. She is a delight. She is picture perfect. Perfect picture. Yes, she is. Shouts out to Eric Robinson for that song. Sorry, but yes, she is. One of the most perfect casting for a character. And what character is that? Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. She is just perfect as that role. I love her as that character. And not only is she continuing to play that character, she's writing that character in the comics. She actually writes the character for Marvel. That's so cool. I've had friends that actually met her, and they're like, Chris, she's like one of the most sweetest and humble person you ever meet. She really appreciates everything she's getting, and she wants more, and she wants to do more. She wants to contribute so much more. And I say to Kevin Feige and Marvel, let her do more, because she's just been perfect as that role, in that role. Picture perfect. I love her. Number 4, Scarlett Johansson. Look, man, before she was casted as Natasha Romanoff, I was always a big fan of Scarlett Johansson. I always thought she was cool. And yeah, I admit, like, yeah, she's a fellow New Yorker, so as I always say, like, I'm gonna support a fellow New Yorker to a degree. But personally and honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, Scarlett Johansson was not my first pick for a role, Natasha Romanoff. If there's anything I have to critique about her as in the character, is I wish she spoke with a Russian accent. And I understand people say, well, she's been in the States for so long. No, she still should. She grew up Russian. She still should have that accent. That's one of the things that really bothers me about it, is like, she does not speak with a Russian accent. But you know, she can speak it, and you know, but that was always my thing. But like I said, she was not my first pick for the role. If I was to tell you one of the people, I'll tell you right now, one of the people who I wanted to see play Black Widow was Mila Djokovic. I actually wanted Mila Djokovic in that role because she had that kind of action background to her that would have made her kind of perfect for that. But outside of that, you know, Scarlett did her thing, and I'm very proud of what she was able to contribute to the MCU. I wasn't a big fan of how they ended Black Widow's character, but I still am proud of what she was able to do with that character. But yeah, but I do love Scarlett Johansson. Number 5, we have Tiana Paris, who plays Monica Rambeau. If anybody doesn't know, Monica Rambeau is one of my favorite Marvel female heroines in Marvel Comics, period. So that was my biggest. I was like, please bring her in. And when they finally brought her in, first they brought in her mother, and then we saw her as a kid, and then we saw her older in the WandaVision. And my biggest question was, okay, will she get her powers? And then she did get her powers, and we got to see that her powers started to evolve later on. But she's another one that you could really tell that she really appreciates that role, and I love how she plays it. She plays it straight, but she also can play it funny, but she also plays it similar to a little bit like her comic counterpart, that she could have maybe a little bit more edge to her, but still at the same time, she's picture perfect as well. And she just celebrated her birthday not too long ago, so happy belated birthday, Miss Paris. Number 6, Haley Stanfield. Yeah. When they were talks of bringing in Kate Bishop into the MCU, and when they did the Hawkeye series, which is one of my favorites, and they announced that she was playing Kate Bishop, I was like, oh, that's perfect. She's perfect for that role. You know, again, another person, if you read the Young Avengers and you got to see who she was, Kate Bishop, before she was even called Hawkeye, she was called Hawkingbird and all these different names. She was like always a combination of Hawkeye and Mockingbird, until she found herself as another Hawkeye. And Miss Stanfield was just great. Her scenes in those were just perfect. I loved her with Florence Pugh, Yelena together. They just bounced off each other so well. And I want to see more of Haley as Kate, because she plays that role so well. And so yeah, I would love to see her back. And like I said, speaking of Florence Pugh, yeah, let's go to Florence Pugh. She's up here, number 7. Another character, or I should say another actress that I've come to really adore more and more that I see her, and anything I see her in, you know, she always gives a great performance in every role she does. But she was never my choice for, never thought I never thought she would be great as Yelena Belova, the second Black Widow, or now White Widow as she's called in the comics. But yeah, I never thought she would, but she has. You know, she really has nailed that character. And the way they do it in the MCU is that she and Natasha are like sisters, and she's the younger sister while Natasha's the older sister. And Red Guardian, instead of being Natasha's husband, is actually their father figure. They use all the different characters from the Black Widow circle, and you know, made them into a family. That's fine. But at the same time, you know, Miss Pugh just done a great job as an, you know, she plays it well. And yes, her accent sounds very stereotyped, you know, but at the same time, I was just happy she was pulling off an accent. I was like, oh, thank you. I was like, oh, thank God she's using an accent. But yeah, she's fun, and we're gonna see her again in the Thunderbolts, so it's good to see her back, and she's doing a great job. Number 8. This may surprise a lot of you, but she's up there for a reason, because it's because of her performance as this character that I have come to appreciate her version more than her comic counterpart, and that's Kobe Sombers, who played Maria Hill. For anybody who doesn't know me or who just jumped onto my channel, I hate Maria Hill in the comics. I hate her. She is an arrogant bitch. I'm sorry. I have to. She is, and I get so sick of her. And I'm just like, would she? There are points I wanted somebody to kill her off. I was like, I can't stand her. Here comes Kobe playing the role, and I'm actually like, huh. Okay, I actually like her. She's making me like Maria Hill. This version, screw the comic version, but this version I actually like. And so now it becomes even more a question about, like, with other characters that I don't like. I'm not a big, like, okay, here's another example. We're gonna see the Sentry soon. I don't like the Sentry. I hate the character. I don't. So Bill Pullman's son, will his version make me like the character or not? So yeah. But yeah, she was great. I do like her, and it's just sad to see that she's gone now. But sometimes everything has to end. But I'm glad she was able to contribute to the franchise as well. So there you have it. Those are 8. Yeah, Kira wanted me to do 8. I could have done more because there's a lot more I could have done. But I think, Kira, I thank you for the list. Who are some of your favorite actresses of the MCU? And would you want to see them come back? Because personally, me, I want to see all of the actresses that are still around to come back to reprise their roles. But outside of that, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You guys take care. Peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real. Deuces.